Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from the host Imperial Lane. The one and only Master Propaganda who loves like defender of the fatherland. Offered to 1v1 on road to Tunis. In the west it is Dezman of Dezmania. Well, probably not. But he fighting for freedom, democracy, and liberty with the US 3rd Armoured Division. Tasked with hunting down Rommel's boys here under Markov with the 15th Panzer Division. He's trained to Mechanized. Getting a bit aggressive. But as always, big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued generous, wonderful, and absolutely heroic support of the Propagandacast. And a big thanks to keep commenting and liking on my videos. Really helps a lot, a lot with the YouTube algorithms. And finally, you know, big thanks to everyone. So, and the cat for not biting off my fingers. I guess you just think that too. So, either way, we're off here. Mechanized versus Armoured, Jeeps, Engineers versus Dollar Pioneers, MG42. So off to the races we are. As Germans focus on the north here, Americans focusing a bit more in all directions, but also crucially a bit messing with the German early game. Pioneers flying for Markov. I suppose one thing that is interesting noting is he actually goes for an early machine gun despite not going for terror. That does stand out a bit. The most valuable players will typically like focus on the Greenies first, then the MG42 for the Gopher one, obviously. But here, Markov boldly goes for the MG42. Scouts poking about here, Bravo Squad following up there for Dezman. Scout here trying to fit in a cut-off point. We got here Markov moving up his grenades to thwart such an attempt. Salsa Engineers pushing forwards. Headed off somewhere. Oh, he's behind me. Tells you what he's up to there. Be a bit concerned. But anyways, Pioneers up north here facing off against the mighty Jeep. It's 30 caliber machine gun. In this case they're cool, but I have actually seen photos of them actually having a water-cooled 30 caliber there mounted on the back of the Jeep. Which looks a bit neat. South, Pioneers poking forwards, Germans there shifting a bit towards the south as well, here perhaps figuring there's going to be a bigger push up north, cannot really resist, or perhaps trying to throw off their opponents. It's hard to say exactly, of course, what Markov's game plan is, but the end result is he's splitting himself up pretty thinly, which is definitely not the also dealing with there. The Scouts are putting for 2 Pioneers on the line, Jeep the Ultras were heavily damaged, more grenades for Markov and the 15th Panzer Division. Another round score for Dezman. Having the point here. Scouts here finding themselves really wishing someone give them retreat orders. The bullets just keep whizzing over them and occasionally into them. Bomb squad on the flank here. Machine that's about to get hammered. Got grenades coming up here for Markov. Keeping on the fuel point, notice giving the ability to get triple points. That's actually increasingly rare. I find a lot of US players actually now focus on the ability to lay down, throw down 30 cals on mortars rather than the capture ability on the Jeeps, as I guess they just like, having access to cheap support weapons like that. That does make sense, honestly. But not Dezman, though. Dezman believes in capturing points with this Jeep supremacy. Markov meanwhile racing for the Panzer Grenadier Company. Americans successfully forced off the fuel panels meant to enter the southern neutral there, so grenades for Dezman. His rifle there, though, forced back by the MG42, and it's roughly 9 to 1200 rounds per minute, while the official number is 1200 rounds. As the war went on, it actually became common to modify the machine gun to fire at a lower rate, since the machine gun couldn't actually handle the 1200 rates per fire, recoil of it basically. How did they do that? Basically by inserting a heavier bolt into the machine gun, thus slowing it down. So, little fun fact there. Little fun fact. Plenty. Oh, he's laid down mines here. Cheeky Markov. Cheeky threatening the cutoff point. Also cheeky play there by Dezman. MG42 and 250.5 to the for Markov.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
MG42 and crew ready. This territory is
251 almost done. It's almost, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Medic station there for Markov. That's one to the cutoff point, even as Markov is messing with his fuel economy. Another RAF squad here almost done for Dezman and Democracy.
251 half track is deployed.
And there go 250,5 Dragati, Mittler Schützenpanzerwagen,
Medics are
and
standing
Omega by
at
the Western
headquarters.
Allies. Of them in Portugal, when I found in footage on up and north of as well. There we go, squad caught here. That's the 251 rushes ahead here. Will he upgrade to Sturmer? We'll have to see. We'll also use the transport troops for reinforcement on the front line. Also some utility and of course Regal mines. Really overlooked mines, honestly. A lot of fighting going on here. Half-track finding some support there for the Truppen. Scouts inching
Territory
forwards.
sector lost.
Medic station down might fill up with some panzer grenadiers, or perhaps a pack is concerned about vehicles, though I don't think he's got too much reason about it. Seeing as only now Dezman's going from the support centre. Not Markov as well, obviously. They're going straight for the troops from grenades off here. Captain out here for Dezman. Meanwhile, fresh wave of troops out of the base having been patched up. Power plot being threatened here by America. Tony's withdrawing here as Dezman applies fresh pressure as well here. German front line is very much collapsing himself. He's going for the pack force. He's clearly concerned about the Greyhound or half-tracks here.
The enemy has taken a victory
of course, at the
point.
same time, that does mean
enemy
there's
has
like
cut
one
us
from
off.
out now
We
to
have
say
territory
fight back
out of
against the
supply.
infantry who are there like this. Investment.
now
Half
under
rushing and
enemy
veterans
control.
one gained. Could see a wipe in the RAF squad. Definitely a chance here. Keep rushing in here, trying to block it, but he can't stop it. And didn't want like a bit more than necessary there. Don't blame him entirely. He has seen his opponent's sticky bombs,
Anti-tank gun
but
and crew are ready for order.
could lay down some Regal mines with this half track. He could do that. Motor pool for
Bastards
Dezman
have
though.
secured our
Field getting
territory
hit.
from
Very
us.
good pushback here by Dezman against Markov. Getting those resources away from those goddamn ramps. Rifling Force is pushing for the northern field point. In the south here, German pioneers gun is plugging, got the engineers thinking about here. Dezman with his motor pool halfway done. Almost 2/3 of the way here. RAF squad they're retreating as they sense the mid-Schützen comes back and they're going on the flank. Keep back in action, of course, quite swiftly here. Dezman. No sign of any battle group chosen there for Markov, besides, he's got the battle group chosen, but he could, for example, at this point, like run for the self-repair ability, or raid tactics, or half tactics for some grab points and for smoke.
Capture complete.
Can be half that there for Markov already. Meanwhile, rapid reduction in the Dezman and Russia has veterans one like DPC versus Markov. It's going to be the amount of fuel he's getting any moment now. I mean, he should be able to get out Greyhound pretty fast. Meanwhile, Markov might want to get out Panzer Grenadiers. Of course, he might have other ideas, other dreams.
The enemy has
He's
claimed
upgraded
our
the Sturm. I mean,
territory for
solid
their own.
upgrade, obviously. Nothing against it. But I do think a Regal on the right place, it could be a game winner there for Markov.
Give us a target.
Cut-off point again being struck here. He really needs more units, more
Enemy
like,
forces have
more
claimed our
infantry to fight back
territory.
his opponent.
Confirmed. Light vehicles can now
Raid
reach
tactics.
Our territory is exposed. We must
Keep
re-establish a
having points.
connection.
Sunset gun is also busy at work here. A lot of pressure. He's flooding manpower. Could be, of course, he's setting up for the heavy armored car, the archive. Even the stupid D here, but even then, that's like a command point off, and I feel like, probably just benefit from having something out now rather than something else later. There we go, the Sturm ready with its 75mm cannon. Really good harassment here with Dezman, exploiting here that Markov is,
Victory point lost.
perhaps, I think, got his eyes a bit too far off in the right and not right in front of him. There's a bounce origination. There you go, Greyhound in here, pack 40 also put up position. Can't go for the other point blank
We have
blast.
lost control of the victory
Need
point.
to get the pack 40 to position. He can't, it's not great terrain here. There's all this blocking there.
And now,
Really
take
missed the
the
situation with
overrun.
Markov. Despite having the pack 40 out, he clearly wasn't anticipating the Greyhound to attack him. And there you go, lost to Sturmer. Imagine if he just had a Regal
Do
mine
not
around
hold
here.
any victory points.
Even there,
We must counterattack.
Graham would have been long gone. It's a bit odd because since he was clearly anticipating a Greyhound, but apparently could only be bothered to anticipate it so far.
Replacements? Grab the ammo.
us?
So, caught upon being struck again. The Waste Wing Resources definitely has been thinking deep with Starstorm
We
here.
have territory cut
This will
off
be
from supply.
Arctics, obviously. I don't think the floating 700 man per 100 fuel was just going to go for like Arctics. Yeah, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Easily. We'll have to see what it is exactly inside. I'm pushing in north particularly, and he's pulling a bit back as well there. Not quite keen to fight against opponents potentially in cover. Very, very close to whatever it is he wants. They are the
With Storstorm riders are ready to deploy.
There's the stupid Starstorm. Thumbs up.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Armoured assault would be more appropriate. He's been caught here. We got 399 at 132. So, I mean, that's also going to give him a bit more punch with all the opponent's infantry. So, thumbs up to that, but does still leave the Greyhound as a bit of a menace unless, you know, he parks the Greyhound in front of the Sturm DMRs to shoot it enough. And I don't think Dezman is going to be that generous towards his opponent. I'm sure Markov would love it if he was. There you go, GR's pushed off there. We got an anti-tank, and of course, realizing the ground is not going to cut it against the might of the Sturmgeschütz. Meanwhile, we also got advanced logistics here to get some cheaper reinforcements going at desk because really get that American economic advantage going. Give us the Greyhound. Nice shot there. Markov definitely heat the pressure here from Dezman. Not putting the cutoff point again though. He starts with grenades and rear shots in on the Stu D. Center falling to the captain. We got 376 from 32. And finally some pushback in the south direction from Markov, but I think some more infantry like some Panzer Grenadiers, it could be a very good investment for Markov, honestly. Just more to pressure Dezman with across the map. Triple cap. So, I mean, that's really again a sign that Markov needs to, you know, get going. He needs to just start hitting his opponent harder. Far from charging in, they've got spreads here on them. There's the captain. Grenades actually dodged. Well done here by Markov. And it's unfortunate for Markov, there's a second round squad nearby the cannon, of course, hit it. And there we go. Makes run for it. Crucially does not reinforce the block. He must be able to get the machine through the wiped out before they get off with it. Yes, indeed. Still a bit uncomfortable close here, but Dezman doesn't paying a high price to not even get a machine gun. So I guess it's not all bad, but I think there's a lot of points that, you know, Markov needs to start grabbing. Jeep seemingly has been turned into an observation post here. Something for Dezman, he's just forgotten about it. Not impossible. Okay, there we go. Looks like it's sort of been remembered. 318 with 132. Is he going to go for another Stu decalling? I mean, I suppose that is an option there for Markov. I'm just not sure it's one I'd recommend or advise, but he can do it. Only could give him a bit more bit of firepower there as an opponent. We actually got a breach going on there. Thumbs up. Little Grandier flanking the Stu D. Back up the anti-tank gun, popping smoke until I wasn't anticipating that again. Careful about Propaganda D, put so close to the opponent's front line. That is typically not a smart move. It's going to use the move here for Markov.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
First, we're probably going to look at a second Stu decalling here, unless he's got other plans. I mean, I don't see what otherwise puts, you know, over 600 manpower at this point of the match. Especially rising up this pack 40 of all the things. That's going to wipe here, and we can see this clear attempt here by Dezman destroyed. He does succeed in it. Oh dear. There goes second Stu D. The Starstorm can be called in. Will he do so? Will Markov unfortunately highlight he may not quite have a plan.
The enemy remains stubborn. We are down to 300 points.
He's going for a pack 40 instead of that, so It definitely, I think, highlights that Markov may be struggling a bit here with a plan against Dezman. Which is far from, I think, good for the Germans. For the Americans, it's fantastic. Obviously, Bone doesn't have much of a plan. Definitely gives you some advantages. Yeah, Markov here, I mean, I feel like that machine also just could have been, like, not, the pack could have been avoided being lost like that as well, so definitely feels like Markov is in need of a bit of a shake-up here.
Commandant, territory sector lost.
Pack machine guns on the move here. Once more setting out in the name of Das Vaterland. Markov, I guess, is just stalling out for its duty after all. He just wanted pack 40 up before going for it. Well, I think it would make more sense just go for another Stu D and then get pack later.
We have a surplus of command points available.
Taking the south here.
Territory sector lost.
Is that a Panzer first? I assume it was, because that was just like... It just felt very sudden and like much more explosive than usual. Like someone just packing a Jeep called TNT. Just like all detonated at once. Don't worry, Gene. Like, who's gonna figure out we're smuggling TNT in North Africa? No one, that's who. We're gonna make millions. Then... So, I guess it's not the studio after all. He's just going packs. He's just floating like a lot of resources. Maybe he wants to go for calling Panther, but even then setting an economy and like just told like that, I just think is not particularly advisable. But Markov seems like, you know, it's a plan about as great as smuggling TNT in North Africa in a war zone. I guess. I don't know. Apart from shot units in the south here. D getting smashed. A few hits there.
Anti-tank gun and crew are ready for orders.
Second pack for Markov, as I assume he's stalling out for the Panther. And Dezman likely is going to eventually start going for EC hits as well there. The bigger question, of course, being will he go for the call-in version or the buildable version? I'm guessing the call-ins, I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly. Would not be surprised if he went for the call-ins over the buildable version one. Markov, yeah, going machines, yeah, he's clearly like maintaining a sort of like, you know, minimum level of 400 manpower, which I definitely say is a bit much. But again, I feel like it highlights he is just stalling out here for a Panther.
We're leaving the shithole.
Which again, considering he's against an opponent with just a single grain at the moment, obviously he might be seeing, okay, I'll be aware his opponent's going for Armoured, he's anticipating EC8, Brad Pitt's obviously wants Panthers for that, but at the same time, you know, I feel like the way he's doing it, just the EC8 and Brad Pitt becomes, you know, a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know. Transport there, forced up with a blend cover, nice shot of Markov. Southie almost had the raft sport there, pushed away, but done it in the scene there, providing crucial assistance. Fresh fighting around the centre, which I mean is honestly where most of the fighting is happening. It's in the south and the north, but for the most part, there's heavy focus around this area of the map. 185 to 386. Tank depot for Dezman. Many Despot. 185 to 382. We got the green there setting up going for the you see they are holed up here behind some dilapidated cover. Not able to hold up for much longer. Tanked up something, so he's going to go for the buildable ECs then I imagine. So the cooling ones. Get War Machine going, get them at a discount. Which definitely means things we get reading coming from Markov for a longer match. As Markov just continues to stall out for the Panther. Tank depot there. Halfway done for Dezman. Far south here, grenades on the machine gun there, extended on its own like that. Definitely not an ideal move there by Markov. Of course, Dezman very much appreciating that, aiming for white, getting in off with it possibly. But fails to get it. What a stroke of luck there for Markov. Got Markov right by the enemy infantry in the center. Markov continues his float. Dezman also floating a bit here though. But at least he's taking up. Is he in trouble?
Enemy forces have claimed
You should roughly, I think, have the command points now for both War Machine and the, EC8. Unbuildable here, but we'll see. As for Markov, the flooding continues. We'll continue until morale improves.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Starstorm dashing forwards. North being lost here. Markov's drag is really costing a lot of ground here for his opponent. Anything I think comes up as money. Dezman though continues to float command points, even his floating resources. So yeah, it seems like both are now just already got the sights on, premium mediums. There we go, buildable EC8s. Got the first one on the way here. Meanwhile, Markov is still some time away from a Panther. And also, doesn't hold more than half the map, unlike Dezman. So, a lot of problems here on the horizon for Markov. And no immediate signs of him, really resolving them. Certainly great for Dezman. Leprosy having sex, but there goes Sherman. EC8 has arrived. Brad Pitt has been summoned and interned within the vessel. Scouts rifling forwards. Between 60 and 41. And we got a breach in the Starstorm again here from Dezman. Thumbs up. Cover. And forcing some of the riflemen just to drop over. 16-34, almost got a short cut here from this Markov now against Dezman, about 1,000 now punches, just floating. Not, I think, great team installing for the Panther. That is much more resources floated than what is actually necessary. We can't, more stuff out. He's going for the Panzer Company. He's going to go for buildable Panthers. Finally realizing, I could just build them. So they're just floating for call-in that also going to take them much longer without them. So, you could have figured that out a bit sooner. At least, you might get an end here to Markov's insane floating of resources.
Confirm. Enemy has
South side is pushing in here. Do have a small interdiction force actually significant to outwork on the scouts here. Got Vesper spotting scopes and War Machine there. Mechanized assault there for Markov. 260 versus 281. Markov's almost got Dezman down to his level. Panzer Company right around the corner.
Victory point is under enemy control.
And then start building Panthers. There we go, could even soon start training some more Starstorm. Honestly, I don't think it would be a half bad idea. We'll see what Markov actually chooses to do. Rifle EC to the move here, charging the center packs on up, engaging EC, slamming shot after shot into Brad Pitt's Sherman tank here. Causing him to get quite miffed as it's ruining his 3 o'clock martini. Up north, the EC8 about engagement pack 40s again. Panthers almost done. Could go for the Starstorm. Rifle sweeping again, go for the remaining fuel pump here under Markov's control.
Out of supply.
Looking for the German army getting massive by the moment here. Does have lead in terms of infantry casualties. And third victory points. That one appears, I think, a lot more tenuous. All the way Panther out here for Markov grenade. The Stu D almost had it, but Mechanized assault then guided just to get out of the range without yourselves engine damage. Absolutely falls up North German front and completely collapses. Again. Oh, look at Rifle White TS. Looks like Dezman might be a bit overwhelmed. BAR Rock TS Rifle gets actually destroyed in the process. Panther going north into Rifle and tank grenades. No support for the Panther. Not ideal here. And we got survival training as Dezman looks to toughen up the men. Alright, men. It's time for survival training. If you get shot at, try not to die. God damn, sir, you're a genius. Yes, that's what I know.
The enemy is stealing our territory from us.
Round squad there moving in. We got fresh ones on the way for Dezman. Additional stuff from Markov. Galaxy region running right past him for the Grenadiers.
Our Vespa's ready.
And we got a Vespa, a bit of artillery here versus Dezman. Does kind of make sense, but honestly, so would we infantry.
We're taking fire from AT!
18 was 248.
Yeah, done. What now?
14 was 248.
Fire
Well,
Squad leaders
so
are
then
ready
that
to
extra big
orchestrate
ticking
mechanized
against
assault.
Markov. Panther Stu D hanging back, Vespa hanging a bit further back. And he's pushing northwards. And he's in the cutoff. South side field and grab. We've got rapid counterattack here. Seeing the German take to the BAR there, but even then, versus basically two grenadiers still move up and just start, taking names.
Artillery is fueled and ready for deployment.
Grenade being chucked here. Let the rifle win the match. The rifle puts the wipe here on. Dezman Stu D also getting hit with multiple tank grenades from the anti-tank here. Clark, they're clearly underestimating Dezman's tenacity, ferocity, and sheer willingness to inflict harm to German lives. Might just lose the stupid duck rat pit moving in the shoots but misses. Panther turn around to revenge with the pack water gets good hits with the side armor of the Sherman EC. Right being blasted. Stu goes utterly critical there. As the missiles are cooked off, Panther getting hit by flying the EC-85. We got 209 versus 228. South side, largely forgotten. North side, we see some light attempts Markov to push in there. He still needs more infantry, I would say. Seems very resistant to the idea. So northwards, southwards, he could try and go for the field point there again. Isn't. As for Dezman, switching to go for another Sherman EC-8. Panzer Grenadier officer getting officer's quarters. Thumbs up. Yes, that mostly benefits the packs. I think the Vespa bit as well.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Going for the center again here. Yes, I'm really just putting pressure on Markov. It seems comparatively very passive response.
Headquarters has an officer station.
And on the move. On 9 is 213. Option torches on deck, one hit by an enemy 42. Quick heavy burst there, pushing them to the ground and suppressing them immediately.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Right and sweeping in, we got the Grenadiers pushing northwards. Second, you see on the way there for Dezman and Democracy. Bit more shooting here and there. Quite again, clicking very defensively. He's not trying to push much around the sides. He's focusing most of the points of attention to the center. Hoping that just Dezman keeps attacking into it and just ignores the rest of the map, which I don't think is a particularly sustainable strategy. He's Markov considering he's behind the victory point again.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Well, absolutely does, but I do think he needs to do something a bit drastic and increasingly to, I think, try and, shift the match in his favor. We still go for some Starstorm. I think that could be a nice step up. It could also be more Panzer Grenadiers. Just Water infantry, I think, is a really crucial element Markov right now needs. And there you go, finally some more stars to them. Thumbs up, even though it's arguably a bit late for my tastes. See it sneaking in. Thanks, ready. God.
Shock veterans have been relinquished to us.
Second, start some squad advances. But we see the positions enemy ushered around here as we see Dezman tank his old side. Well, into the attack here. 2 thumbs up. No to Dezman. 1 pack down. This is really getting out very fast if it does. Or Markov bringing the Starstorm here to assist. The South machine trying to provide some assistance against the Sherman. You see the MB42 obviously falls significantly flat. Second pack wipe. This is really turning disastrous for Markov, honestly. About to lose both his pack 40s. Two tanks against his 1 Panther. It's definitely far from ideal here for the German army, and I think poses a significant problem for the German army. Let's try and do its part here, but most of the shots are just not impacting where they need to, which is on the Americans. Doesn't putting in these little thumbs up, there's something here from Markov in a sea of otherwise bad developments. That said, I fear it will be far from sufficient to turn the tide against Dezman. Obviously he does an active Panther getting shot at here by the anti-tank gun. Straight through the side armor.
We have lost control of a victory point.
We finished our order.
Starts to the ready over there. South submachine gun in here. Get them suppressed, routed. He's getting hammered. Advances, good shot on the ECA again, but it is still outgunned. Artillery fire trying to hold the advance. Doesn't quite go well either there for Markov. Treating the German army is getting more and more critical here as the forces here of the American army churn in there. Attack from all sides here, and all sides of the attack from enough sides here to really make things difficult here for Markov to with him in one both percent of tank guns. It becomes very difficult to see, particularly top 8 rounds. The smoke of the body as well further complicates matters. The riflemen just run whatever's left here for Markov. So this is starting to look aggressively like game over. MB14 grenaded and more or less almost wiped out. Sticky bomb on the Panther, lights it up there like an armored funeral pyre. Situation here for, I think, Markov is very much in a breaking point. He's going for a pack 40 here, but I'm not entirely sure he intends to use 1 pack 40 to hold 2 ECHs, is actually 2 backed up by a notable number of veteran riflemen. Things look pretty bad here for Markov. He does have a higher number of casualties against opponents infantry-wise. The problem is, of course, his opponent has cheaper reinforced infantry. 30s here on the way here for Dezman. Links up to the captain, catch the machine, they're pushing it back. On the Starstorm there. Comes the Pioneers. Yeah, really messy spot to be in for Markov right now. Dezman, I think, is holding most of the cards. As Markov is, well,
Back wall is
Pioneer
holding,
infantry killed.
well, most of the rules for stud poker at this point. So easy, it's hanging back here, going right for another push here, with only a single Vespa and a Pack 40, and then of course the Vespa, it's not really helpful against tanks. Actual Vespas though would actively have at least a few on-page rounds in case of emergencies. Yeah. 145 turn 9. And he's getting more. We got 145 turn 6. Clock continues to tick it, and there you go, GG. A loss for the German army. A victory for democracy. In the end, I think Markov lost part because again he just decided to like float resources at really weird times, stalling for Panthers when they weren't necessary at all. I think it gave his opponent a lot of movement room to get control of the map, but also it was just overall too passive. So definitely some, I think, things to learn from there. But hope you enjoyed the match. I've learned something from it. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye, everyone.